Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 3 versus 3 on Constellation. Playing on Team 1 as the Necrons, we've got Frax. We've got Drakan playing as the Praetorian Firstborn. And we've got Eri 7889 playing as the Imperial Guard. Whereas on Team 2, playing as Demon Hunters, we've got Mr. Blue Dude. We've got Dimdol playing as the Adeptus Mechanicus. And we've got Yazoo55 playing as the Praetorian Guard. Now, this game does feel a lot similar to the 2v2 that we saw the other day, in the sense of the team compositions. We've got Necrons and Praetorian Firstborn, which very much like to chill out in the early stages of the game, wait to hit that tier 2 and that tier 2.5 before they get a cracking. And while the Imperial Guard, yeah, they can be aggressive in the early game, but I'm going to run under the assumption that Eri 7889, knowing that his friends are, or friends, question mark, colleagues, teammates at the very least, are going to be chilling out for at least a little bit. Whereas the Southern team are actually a lot more aggressive. We've got the Demon Hunters, which are going to go for the standard Grey Knight opening. Very rare that you see them go for the actual Inquisition, although we did see that on the Patreon the previous Sunday. So if you want to have a cheeky look at the Patreon, £1 a month does indeed get you one extra game a week. Links in the description, as always. And you might be wondering, why does the Adeptus Mechanicus look a little bit like, oh, what's that film that with the old video game in it? Is it Tron? I think it might be Tron. But yeah, I've had to put the no pre-cache models on because it's a 3 versus 3. And I don't want the game to look like a complete arse with all the graphics. So there might be a little bit of a stutter, and some of the models might look a little bit weird, but that's okay. As long as the game runs, that's my main concern. So yeah, so the AdMech can also have the potential to be a bit aggressive with their Warriors of the Omnissiah. But that being said, this map is a very long map. And by the time the actual AdMech gets their Warriors of the Omnissiah all the way over here, they will lose their Wi-Fi, so maybe that's not the idea. But the Imperial Guard, no, ignoring everything that I've been saying, are going to be playing aggressive. So, you know, just like always, just everything I say, take with several buckets worth of salt. Commander will come over with a priest and the Brotherhood champion, although champions that they are going to go too well up against the command squad. But we do have a Lord Inquisitor. Oh, okay. And you're going to go with a bodyguard with a flamer. So what, just break morale and just negate their damage output? That might be the way forward. Artifact, oh sorry, not artifact, Architect, if I can read today, is going to be slapped around by these dudes, but command squad, all that should the commander in the command squad, already on very low health at the moment. We are seeing the Praetorian Guard shimmy and shake on over, a regular section with a Lieutenant Colonel in there. He's able to speed up the men, as well as cast Guide on them, and with the Burl Scabs can't exactly fight against them. And that powerful Martini Henry rifle lasgun thingamadoodad, able to break down a fair few models in quick succession, but double Necron Warriors will sort them out quite quickly if they remain stationary in that general area. Oh dear, you came over this way to avoid the Brotherhood champions, only to then be bashed in the face by the High Pacifist. Almost get a squad wipe, actually. That priest surviving with about 5 health, surviving that command squad. Praetorian Guard over here. Yeah, there's... Oh, it's like Rorke's Drift. Standing in the middle. Enemies on all sides. But using that guide, always good to be able to reposition your men. But... Oh, dear. Well, he cast Guide on them, but guide them to an early grave, really. And we're seeing Celestians. Hold on. Wait a minute. I used... Right. Ignore me. These are not Praetorian Firstborn. They are blooming Sisters of Battle. It confused me. Their buildings look so bloody similar. Well, never mind me, then. That's going to be fun having to edit the video and say, hi, my name is Miss Landshark and I'm silly. Please ignore what I'm saying. These are actually women and not Praetorian Firstborn. And the irregulars falling down pretty quickly. We're going to see an Orc bunker that should be able to defend this area relatively okayly. Regimental statue could also put further on a bombardment in this general area. We are seeing the lights on. And the lights do indicate a big explosion will come in at some point, any point now. Oh, bunker goes down. High Pacifist also engaging some glorious firepower. The Necrons right in the middle of everyone. Trying to keep these guys away. Necron Lord also pushing down. We do have a fair few of the Inquisitor lads over here getting decaps in and stuff. And the Imperial Guard, they've not got much. They've got a Guardsman squad, but that's about it. They're hiding inside the Infantry Command. Just for defensive purposes, I imagine. Yeah, just... So I'm still shocked that I didn't even realise that. I've just been casting the wrong game, essentially. That's alright. That's fine. Pushing all the way into the Praetorian Guards base, and the Praetorians aren't exactly the most defensible of Guardsman factions. I've got many lads on the field as they are going for a relatively early tier 2. I mean, a 5-minute tier 2 isn't exactly breakneck speed. There's a lot of baddies inside their base. And only a few high pass pists. So it seems that we've got a lot of aggression going on both sides of the map at the moment, although the Grey Knights will struggle to actually break down the Imperial Guard stuff. I assume, I'm running on the assumption that you've got, yeah, your infantry command's got 3 squads in there. So that will be quite difficult for them to take on, as plasma guns will be coming out. Lovely Praetorian Mertime placement. Been popped right down. And tier 2 almost been finished. Oh dear, that's double Celestians. I suppose Celestians, well, I mean, the sisters, as I mentioned earlier on, okay, yeah, they're not Historian, but they also do really shine in tier 2 when they get all of these high-tech ladies out. All those melter guns and melter weaponries and stuff. Our company command, HQ, soon to go down. One high pass pist just been chased around by this Necron Lord, trying to get away to safe. So, oh no, you've got friends, you've just been abandoned. Well, you know what they say? To survive war, you don't need to fight the best, you just need to have someone next to you who fights a little bit worse than you do, then hide behind them. Guardsmen feeling a little bit brave, seeing if they can perk out. We are seeing a Purification Decree, which does general debuffs around nearly anyone who goes nearby. Which makes sense, I mean, it's smoke in your eyes. No one likes smoke in their eyes. Praetorian Guard, you've been taken down very quickly. What are you doing in response? Are you building something elsewhere? Looking at the minimap, is there any green? I can't see, because my old eyes won't let me. You have a soldier's mess in the background. That's what's keeping you alive. Do you have any other builders anywhere else? You've got a convict squad manoeuvring around the northern side, but that's your last builder squad. Definitely need to pop down a building. Quick, sharpish. Melter bomb has been thrown towards the mess. And what a mess this has become. The building bar still there. Even in death, soldiers must be recruited. Company HQ over yonder. Questionable. I would assume that you would probably build that somewhere down here, although maybe a micro was required that he had to place it wherever his screen was at the time. But yeah, the Lord Inquisitor, he's now got 4 lads, 2 melter guns, 2 flamers, and that Adeptus Sororitas Convent is falling down pretty rapidly. Well, the command squad attempting to tie them up, but not quite saving that structure. Got the Necrons moving on over, with both their squads having the construction fields upgrade. So we'll do more damage in the range department. Command squad, though, not really having a good time against the Lord Inquisitor. Normally he's going around smacking people upside the head, but yeah, really struggling. Got triple warriors of the Omnissiah. Will do great against the infantry, but I mean, these are Celestians. These ladies know a thing or two about breaking down vehicles and such. Necron Lord got his usual accompaniment of artifacts in the form of the phylactery, the, I assume, phase shift and solar pulse. We shall see. Second machine reliquary and the Praetorian have been taken out in such an early stage of the game. So it's going to be a massive uphill battle for Team 2. I'm actually going to swap over to a team that's alive now. Sorry, Yazoo. He just flew, flew too close to the sun. The world is just too harsh for our boy to live in. John Cena beam preventing the machine reliquary from firing away, but they've still got the warriors there. And Mr. Blue Dude just coming out with all the aggression possible. He's got the Vortimer pattern Razorback. Upgrade with an assault cannon. Take care of the infantry. Brotherhood champions got their plasma pistols on the go. And the Lord Inquisitor, I assume you're now... Yeah, you're going to go for a bodyguard with plasma guns. We've done the damage to the buildings, but it's the infantry now that's causing them some issues. Over here, the Imperial Guard are doing some sort of counter attack, but won't do them very good, as they are squishy boys that are now on fire. But thankfully, fire's been replaced by... Well, is it thankfully? I suppose, being shot to death is probably more pleasant than being burned to death. That's fair enough. A grim dance to the far future. Pick your poison. And some people's poison is not fire. Definitely not. But good use of the Necron Lord from Vrex. Making sure he's jumping around everywhere. Being a nuisance. That's always the benefit of having Necron Lord in a 3v3 or 2v2. You can basically be anywhere on the map in a short amount of time. We've got so much utility, able to turn the tide of a battle, even when your forces are outnumbered, but it does require a hell of a lot of micro. And if he dies, well, that's just a real pain, isn't it? Gonna rebuild him, and with only one Necron monolith, it does reduce your building capacity quite something. Lovely use of the Brotherhood champion, chasing away that Immortal squad, allowing the pattern Razorbacks to just maneuver around. And yet, on a map like this, controlling the centre is really, really important. Got 4 little nerds here, and also 2 relics as well, which are critical to the longevity of a fight going on. For Maintenance Servitor, Ventral Crisp by the mighty Celestians. And the Razorbacks not wanting to engage in all this stuff down here, which is fair enough. Got the maneuverability, just avoid conflict. Got some Exorcist Sisters as well. And they are armed with P silencers. Also got the Grey Knight Chaplain joining them. Celestians, one squad being a little bit out of position. Was shot down quite quickly. The silencers are nothing to mess around with. Able to chew through heavy infantry armour very nicely. Laying of hands on the Celestians to keep them alive. But that's a lot of assault cannon fight, even though they've got melter guns themselves. Got to make sure that they get the optimal engagement here. Got some immortals as well to fire around. And what are you? You are some interceptors, fast and mobile melee Grey Knight units. Got some infiltrated high pacifists as well. And the Warriors on the side, chilling around this STC searcher, making sure their Wi-Fi is good and proper. So Necron Warriors going to just try and join this massive fire and sadness in the middle. And ooh, a Grey Knight Librarian Terminator. If he can get off a decent smite in the middle of these formations, a significant amount of damage. There we go, right in the middle of those Necron Warriors. And they're not too keen on leaving the field at the moment. That Chaplain running away. Plenty of explosions everywhere. Huge. What firepower is been brought from there? Is that? I'm sure, was that the Archmagos throwing some grenades maybe? I don't think so. Looks more plasma cannony to me. Hellhound burning the last of the Exorcisters to a crisp as the command squad is just chilling out near them. But it does seem that Team 1 here is not holding the centre as well as they wanted to, but they are putting pressure on this, and you've got to bear in mind as well that this whole area is now captured by Darken, or Drakan even. So $1 million money is going towards him at the moment. Got another Razorback, but he's now armed with a twin-link las cannon. So thinking about going in to do some building damage, but seeing some juicy Hellhound targets. Not a bad idea. In fact, triple Razorbacks. Keeping on that theme, I've got triple Hellhounds as well from Eri. And they've all been up... Well, one hasn't been, but 2 of them are being upgraded to Devil Dogs. The anti-vehicle variant of the tanks. That's good. So any kind of high-tech shenaniganry coming from the AdMech or anything like that will die pretty quickly. For a second I thought there was more map down here, but no, it's just setting dressing. That's all it is. So what's the plan for Team 2 here? I do quite like how Dimdol... I mean, Dimdol just knows the AdMech inside and out. This guy, as I've said before on the channel, absolutely convinced that IRL he's actually a member of the Adeptus Mechanicus. He's got no corporeal form. He's all data. Yeah, he's gone for those 3 machine reliquaries, which all give him more money as well. Coming out of the Lehman Russ King patterns. But one problem is that the Necrons have got those Locust Heavy Destroyers, and later on in the game they'll also have a Necron Lord Destroyer that could just take over your vehicles. So it's a bit of a sticky situation. AdMech putting pressure on the Necrons. Bit of a preemptive John Cena beam, to be fair. Don't think that'll do them any favours, but maybe it was more of a defensive one to prevent them from pushing any further while the sisters rock on over. Archmagos Prime. Ship straight in, first class delivery. What a powerful beast. do love how his model looks like it's based off the Nightbringer. I'm fairly certain it is. I mean, that's the exact attack animation, isn't it? Bringing down those big explosions. Also double. Oh no, you're just one singular leaving us at the moment. Haven't gone for any major weapon upgrades as of yet. Magos Prime teleports back to safety as all these Celestians focus on that Lehman Russ. Yeah, there's just so much in the way of infantry to take on. They're not pushing their advantage too much, waiting for the Necrons to come forward. Actually, I'll teleport back home. Why? Have you noticed something that I haven't noticed? Ooh, no, they just went back home. Just been nice and cautious, I suppose. Although I think maybe a little bit over-caution here. Hellstalker pops from the ground. Librarian Terminator ready to pop a smite down on anyone who gets within smiting distance. Necrons have already used their teleport home ability, so actually they're a bit like sitting ducks at the moment. Celestians, where are you going? You've got a really good target for your melter guns to use. Necrolord, again, just playing distractions, really. Get them all back home. Now got the... Oh, you're still a Razorback, you've just got a shovel on the front. Or a plough. Whatever you call that part of a tank. There he is, brother Captain Arvan Stern. Absolute beast. Brings down the big blue flames. Slows whoever's inside it down quite considerably. And that is an interesting place to put your greatest summoning core, Mr. Vrex. Open to assault. Anyone coming forward? Oh, the big booms earlier on was the warrior of the Omnissiah, the plasma cannons. Right. That makes all the sense in the world. Not a bad show, actually. You're up against a significant amount of heavy infantry. Plasma cannons, plasma guns, anything beginning with P, that's what you want to use. Or maybe not everything or anything beginning with P, for obvious reasons. I know where your brains were going right there. Not on this Christian channel, thank you very much, young men and or women. A blinding light coming from someone, causing a reduction in range damage. I assume that came from the sisters. Maybe there's a canoness somewhere in there. Necrolord wonderfully placed. Solar pulse there, preventing anything from firing in. Love the Vindicator as well, good idea. Short-ranged artillery, a flanking Inquisitorial Predator, and over here we do have the Demon Hunters going up against the Imperial Guard. We are now seeing a Vendetta heavy gunship. Quite a lethal beast, although very expensive. Should be able to turn its hand to killing infantry and tanks alike, but only a small piece of aggression going on there, as a lot of the Demon Hunter stuff is focused over on the left hand side. Probably just a cursory force towards the Imperial Guard, just so they don't get any bright and fresh ideas. Just look at the firepower. 1 versus 2, more or less. Oh no, I suppose you've got a fair amount of AdMech stuff. I would say it's just the tanks look bigger, they feel more imposing. Got the Castigator in the middle, just a fancy word for Predator. Given a farewell parting shot from the War of the Omnissiah with the plasma cannon. Yeah, it seemed like a really indomitable threat from the Necrons and the Sisters, but being fended off by superior tech. Also got Dr. Robotnik's robots. Fingers splayed and spinning. And oh, who are you? You were a Grey Knight. Oh, you're just a regular Justicar. There's no one important. Well, I mean, probably someone important. All Grey Knights have got a lauded long history. But not him anymore. He's dead. Like we all will be one day. The Vicious Squad, oh bless them. Their main purpose is capping, but they've been sent into the fray. Good lord, these solar pulses now really making a big impact in this fight going on. Using a couple of tanks here and there. Necron Lord being blasted into the air. We're also seeing a Paragon kill team off on the side, being armed with multi-melter, so I imagine these guys are going to teleport in, cause all sorts of mischief. The one benefit of the Demon Hunters is that they've got a lot of teleporting infantry and, you know, deep striking capability. So they're able to keep the AdMech nice and reinforced. Flanking maneuver from the Paragon kill team. Attempting to focus the Vindicators high pacifists on jet boards, uncloaking themselves, get involved in close combat, tying these gales up. They will just teleport out of dodge, out of sight, out of mind. And once again, it seems that the Mech and the Demon Hunters are potentially pushing through, although those double castigators really doing them a favour by holding that line. There's a lack of anti-vehicle stuff now from the Mech and the Demon Hunters here. Paragon Sisters. You know, I don't rate this unit, to be fair. I've seen them a few times on the channel, but it's a very rare occasion when they actually jump in and do something fairly useful. In these larger kind of multi-faction engagements, not exactly the shock infantry that you really want to see. You have that beautiful Exorcist in the background there. Definitely my favourite artillery vehicle in the game. Big boom from the from the assault high pacifists. So I assume basically just stun you. Big problem. Over here the Imperial Guard defending Half and Home, Lehman Russ battle tank, and the Vindicator. Also got the Cascans as well. So quite an elite selection of units from ME7, A89 here. But I mean, Demon Hunters, they're just holding you in at the moment. They don't really care about that engagement so much. Their main focus is what's going on over here. Smite coming in from Avern Stan. Or Stern. I want to say it in a very East Yorkshire Hull accent. Explosion. Nexus. Well, that was Nexus missile, wasn't it? Why did you attack your own thing? Or maybe it's for, we'll just get a shot at the Xenos while we're here. Why not? And fair enough, I mean, it is heresy. If it's not the Emperor, and if it's not the Omnissiah, it's definitely not good. Where are you going, Lucas? Have destroyed? You've come in to finish the job. Dedication. Well, the Imperial Guard have managed to push the Demon Hunters back somewhat. Vindicator getting a really good shot off at that Cascan squad. And now there's a bit more spread out, actually. That Vindicator will be doing a lot less damage. Not exactly a frontline tank. Shot down most unceremoniously. Probably you want to see Mr. Blue Doom pull these guys back. Fight continues on the left-hand side. And considering, boys and girls, that this is a 2 versus 3 scenario here, doing a remarkably good job. They're doing exactly what they need to in a 2 versus 3 situation. You can't really hold back and chill out. You need to make sure that you... Because, I mean, as the longer the game goes on, the less likely you are to win. Because, you know, the opponent's got more economy. And they've still got access to all this. I assume that this would be public enemy number 1 from the perspective of Team 2 here. Or they would send a fighting force to tie everything up. And then maybe one capping unit to go around and just decap and kill everything over here. But no, let's have a really quick look at the economies for these guys. So, hold on. For the Necrons, 45% and 34, so actually a very small amount. Losing a significant amount of our plasma generators in that assault. 117 and 87 and 85 and 84 compared to 120 and 168 and 227 and 181. So even there, the Team 2 are on a massive downturn for their team size. Their economic output is just the equivalent of 3 players, I would say. Surprising that the Sisters don't have that much economy. Does it not have got all this stuff on the go? This makes me do the question things in my head brain. Professor is out on his own. Couldn't really do it from joining a squad, to be fair. He gives a damage boost to anyone that is nearby. You ideally want him to be playing a bit of a supporting role, putting him in your main gun line. Comes sister on sister action. Close your eyes if you're feeling sheepish, but that's a lot of... Good lord. Exorcist, or should I say the Grenac Chaplain, popping down a big zap thing on top of those Paragon kill team ladies. Not enough firepower to hold them back. You have a whole fleet of Aestos combat drones there. They're pretty good at sniping out any kind of infantry stuff going on, prevented from firing by an aerial. Have you always been in the sky? Or have you just landed on top of a drone? Either way, you've got that weird artifact. Reasons. don't know why it does it, but it does. High Pacifist coming out the wazoo. We've also got a chemical weapon on this Leman Russ King pattern. And double War of the Worlds lasers. Firing at anyone who gets anywhere relatively close. If you look at that, they've got the big laser and they've also got the little lasers as well. Morale being broken across the Mech line, but reconvening themselves as the Archmagos Prime shows them a little bit of love. Oh dear, just as the Jawbreaker shield comes online, massively reduces the amount of incoming range damage. Here the Imperial Guard continue to push on forward, but a big zap looking like it was temporarily disabling that Leman Russ. And I mean, the King pattern, they call it the King pattern for a reason. Once it's fully souped up, definitely one of the stronger Leman Russ variants, although armed with chemicals. Don't think it's ideally positioned to take on a battle tank. Got the Razorback with twin link las cannons. Oh, right, okay, right, well, you've got a Knight Paladin. Dude with powerful chainswords and either arm. We'll swap them out there for a Volcano cannon. He's walking around like he owns the place. It's slap down a target or two. Quite incredible range on that boy as well. The Admech High Pacifists seem to have survived. And the centre is currently a bit like no man's land. No one's got a firm grasp on it at the moment. Double Vendetta gunships. I assume, Eri, you've been just chilling out and trying to tech up. You've got all the Leman Russes coming out for now. I do believe in Unification it's a limit of 2. You do have other tanks that you can make use of. Surprised that you've not upgraded yourself to a Baneblade as of yet. Maybe he was thinking that he could push on in and get the advantage while a lot of the Team 2's fighting force was over here trying to push on in, but clearly not enough going on for him. We now have got the Castigators, we've got double Exorcists, also a Ghost Arc. Have you not got any big bad stuff? You've got some more Necron Warriors and Immortals on the way, also now going for your tier 4. Very careful with that Knight Paladin. Super expensive. And even though he's a big bad boy, as we've seen so many times on the channel before, we'll rely very heavily on the Relic units and the Titan units. They send them off into the middle of nowhere, into the middle of no man's land, only to die by being outmaneuvered, surrounded. Looks Heavy Destroyer is attempting to flank maneuvers on, but been stunned and might potentially die if the Knight Paladin can get one shot, but no. See him fly away and say, no, I'll let you survive. I want you to suffer more in this hellscape that we find ourselves in. Ghost Arc, I'm not sure what you're doing. Oh, you're going around collecting the dead and dying, I assume. Fair enough. Imperial Guard. That's a lot of vehicles and stuff. And just destroying buildings left, right and centre. Will need to come back at some point. I mean, they've pushed a lot over on this side. I'm surprised that they haven't, you know, pushed towards the Imperial Guard. They've got the weapons to take them on. High Pacifists, I suppose, haven't really got that much in the way of upgrades. Going for a couple of grenade launchers in one squad, but that's about it, really. But they cannot ignore this. Oh, no, they can, because the Paladins are out. Okay, all right. No, you don't want to mess with Paladins and Terminators at the same time. Also got Kaldor Draeger, who's just an utter insane man when it comes to dealing out that damage. I think a while ago we saw him go toe-to-toe against a Bloodthirster. Or was that a Keeper of Secrets? So long ago, I think we saw that game. 3 versus 3. I think about maybe like a week after patch 7.0 came out, I think. A long battle going on. Necrons and Sisters thought, right, okay, well, we'll just try and chase away the Knight Paladin. But he's not going to stick around for any longer than he needs to. And now they've kind of separated the forces over here. They've got all the tanks and stuff like down on this side, but then all the infantry here, so potential for maybe a whole army wipe if they're able to, you know, send the boys in and target the squads. High Pacifists, though, nowhere near as high damage as we'd want them to be. Megos Prime goes down. Not so much as a word. No, it looked like it might have potentially turned around that engagement, but it was not meant to be. Thankfully, though, the Imperial Guard have been checked off from the Demon Hunter side of things. We're also seeing a Storm Raven flying on high. And that Vendetta gunship is like, wow, you're like me, but much bigger. They're not going to have anything to do with that. So, well, you're like a Relic Titan-esque unit for the Demon Hunters. So, a couple of big units on the field at the moment, which is surprising that it's the team that's missing a player that have got them out. So maybe if they can pull those two big bad boys together, to turn the tide, Confessor once again out on his own. As the, what you call Locust Lord Destroyer, trying to chase after the Demon's King Pans to maybe claim it for themselves. Got Penitent's Engine kind of caught on the edges here. And also a Machine Reliquary Land Leviathan. One of the HQs being transformed into a mighty mobile fortress. Much akin to the Necrons. Do quite like that quasi-symmetry, asymmetry with the metal men. Hey, just not having a great time. He's got that Mars Foundry. Do you have money for the Baneblade? You do not. You've been spending it all on all this gubbins. Got Medusa coming up. Don't know if Medusa is going to save the day here. I mean, I suppose one shot. Looking these guys around. And their gunship takes out a tank. It's all going well. Over here, the Knight Paladin. Oh, sorry. Actually clicked on the Guardsman symbol there. It seems that the Knight Paladin is more or less dedicated into just keeping away from the mainstay of combat and just use that Volcano Cannon and those impressive rockets to fire at anyone and everyone. Castigator being slapped. You know, they've got blooming counterfactual weapons more or less inside of them. Can't be a very pleasant situation to be in. And where the Sister's gone, the vast majority of them dead and dying. Now he's got those Paladins on the left-hand side of the battlefield. Necron Lord narrowly surviving death. In fact, did you narrowly survive death? You did. Okay, you're here. Very good stuff. Imperial Guard soon to die out. We'll need to rebuild whatever they can somewhere else. Do you have any more builders? Is it going to be like the situation so you've got no more builders? And you've got no other structures on the go. So actually, whatever the Imperial Guard have got left, that's all they have for the rest of the game now. Lehman Russ unable to hold back the tide by himself. And it's just infinite amount of high pass pists. Being supported by the heavy infantry of the Grey Knights. And the Knight Paladin standing on high, standing on proud. Yeah, so surprised that big units came from the guys with a severe disadvantage. But I suppose one thing to take into consideration is that if you're in a 3v2 situation and you're on the free side, you think, well, don't need to play so drastically. We can take it nice and easy and win eventually. And that lackadaisical approach might potentially cost them the game. It's going to be a 2 versus 2 now. That's good and proper. Exodus blowing these guys around. Asperger's Prime teleporting in randomly. Volcano Cannon from the Knight Paladin. Not really firing. What are you just watching? Oh, you're firing missiles at people down here. Oh, because the Necron Lord is still being a bit of a dick. Okay, that makes sense. Huge stasis on the Catafax robots and the Paragons from the... were you the Paragons? Oh, from the Knight Paladins, the Lord Destroyer. Prevents any damage from being done to them, but also prevents them from moving. So they're fending off the fight once again. But Kaldor Dragor bringing in the storm. And the Sisters decide to just charge through the storm, which is probably not the idea that they want. Look at him go. Also bringing in the flames as well. So one good thing about the Grey Knights. Always bringing in that magic. So yeah, so these guys just decide, you know what, none of this stuff, we lose. And I suppose, yeah, I mean, you've got to appreciate the tenacity from Team 2 here. Lost a member really early on in the game and thought, you know what, so this, we're not going to give up. We're going to give it our absolute best try to win. And they managed to pull it off by bringing out those big units and just holding the line and and also acting very decisively as the game went on. So cheers, boys, for sending that game into the Discord, and if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and there is also Discord where Discord things happen. Linked in the description as always. As been Mr. Landshark, pleasure's always never short, and I will see you in a bit. Peace.